Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Tuesday. Y'all started the week off on a positive and powerful note. Y'all see the subject matter for today. We talking about the economics, entrepreneurship, business, all that good stuff, generating that wealth building. But hey, I'm gonna give y'all about 5-6 minutes to tap in. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday before we tap in and build on this subject matter, man. So what's the word? How y'all living and feeling? Magic Peace, what's happening? Anais Peace, what's happening? My good sister, what's the word? How everybody living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday? Goldie Peace, what's happening? Javon Peace, what's happening? What's the word? Yeah, we gotta do some building on economics, man. Gotta get ourselves out of the condition that we are in because we are still at war. No matter how hard we try to ignore the fact that we are still at war and we still at the bottom, no matter how hard you try to ignore it, it's still a reality. And the only people that can change that reality is us. So we can't sit around and wait for somebody to hand us something. Nah, we got to create the opportunities for ourselves. We got to create the conditions and the circumstances that we would like to see for ourselves. But we're going to need a little cooperation from each other. Miss Naya, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Little cooperation is going to be involved, or going to have to be involved for us to build this wealth that we talk about often, the generational wealth that we like to talk about. We need a little cooperation. But what's the word, man? How y'all living and feeling? What's the vibes for the day for y'all, man? Hopefully everything is peace. Oh, nice, for sure. And just like when you are preparing to enter a relationship, things like that, or even while you are in a relationship, sometimes you have to isolate yourself first in order for you to elevate. Isolation is crucial. A lot of times we view isolation as something that's negative. Isolation helps you grow. So I feel like Black people collectively, we must isolate ourselves in order for us to elevate collectively. I'm all for the separation method. And me saying that we need to isolate from all these other ethnic groups is not me saying anything negative about the other ethnic groups. So we got to understand that. We got to understand that. When I start saying, and when other brothers start saying we need to separate and isolate, remove ourselves from these other folk, it's not saying anything bad about them. That's the only way that we gonna prosper, though. That's the only way. It's hard for us to prosper within the system that wasn't designed for us to prosper in. Or it's hard for us to prosper in a system that we have limitations in. We have limitations in this system. We have limitations. And that's just a fact. Virgil, peace, right on. Appreciate you. There you go, Magic. Hey, God is peace. What's happening? Anais, exactly. Hey, Terrell, peace. What's happening? But I feel like when I first came across the Nation of Islam saying we need to separate, things like that, it always resonated with me. Even when I used to study our history back in the times of slavery, when we had a lot of our own, I used to look at that period like we was viewing this in the wrong light. Like we was viewing it in a wrong light back then. Like we had the Negro Leagues, we had our small towns. We literally had it. We just viewed it in the wrong light. We could have capitalized on that at that period. And we could have knocked it. Hey, we could have got rid of the devil then. We just viewed it in a negative light. And we were striving to integrate with them because we felt like they had the best of the best instead of making the best of the best where we was at. You know what I'm saying? Like we looked at, okay, we got to get to where these white folks at. We got to enter their schools because they have better books. Not realizing the better books that we talking about. The books that we talking about, the books that we were striving the school system that we were striving to integrate in was a school system that was going to mislead our children. Not was going to, that did mislead our children. So yeah, they may have had better quality books, but what was in those books, or what are in those better quality books? A lot of miseducation. Shout out to Carter G. Woodson. Javon, peace, what's happening? Renee, what's happening? And this the talk that they don't necessarily like. They not fond of it. But we were striving so hard to be equal to them that messed us up. Because again, they did some brainwashing and programming. You know, they made us think that they were superior. So it's like, all right, if I can go from the Negro League to the MLB and play amongst the white folks, then I made it. No, fam, they can't hang with us. Put a white dude in a Negro League and see how good he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the better athletes by nature, you know, but we striving to put ourselves in their leagues. That was the wrong way of looking at that. We had the businesses. We was booming. We never had the military to protect our businesses and all of that good stuff, you know? And eventually, like, we might not have had the proper funding to where we can have stadiums and things like that they may have, but eventually, you know, everybody starts somewhere. So eventually, man, enough of us support these leagues and these businesses, then we could afford to do the same things that they are doing. Hey, Kyle, peace, what's that? Terrell, you say, do you think we need to separate ourselves within the U.S. or should we relocate to another landmass altogether? Hey, the way I was taught, everywhere the original man goes is our home. So we don't really need to relocate anywhere. We could, but we home wherever we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could build this thing right here, or we can relocate and build it wherever we want to go, because everywhere we go, we at home. We the original people of the planet Earth, you know, so I don't feel like we have to relocate anywhere, because everywhere we step foot, man, we at the crib. You know, we just got to unify. We just need a little cooperation. But if we want to go somewhere else, we can. But wherever we go, we at home. We at the crib. We at the crib. So we can build right here. No matter, like, at the end of the day, the system really is dependent on us a lot more than they would tell us. This system is dependent on us a lot more than they would like to admit. The moment we step back collectively and realize this and remove ourselves from the system, they will fall. They will fall. And they know that. They know they need us. They need our support. They need the black dollar. They need all of that. You know, they need us to be consumers instead of producers. They need that, fam. They need us to be in this type of condition. Tony, peace, what's happening? Oh, God is for sure. They definitely did that, you know, as a standard of beauty. So we were striving to gravitate towards anything where the majority was white, and toward anything just white in general. You know, we gravitated towards it. We wanted to be on that level. Whole while they stealing from us, though. You know, some of your favorite white entertainers stole from black entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even get me started on Elvis and all these non-talented white folk. Now, you got a few white folks that's talented, man, but for the most part, some of them white folks that they pushed on us in America, man, was stealing all that stuff from black folk. Come on now. Stealing all that stuff from us. So whole while we striving to be like them, they stealing from us. Whole while. Got us worshiping any and everybody other than ourselves. Worshiping any and everybody other than ourselves. Man, Renee, we could go anywhere, for to be honest. We can go anywhere. We can go anywhere. Like, it don't matter. Wherever y'all want to go, we can go. You know, wherever we step foot, the original man, the original one, we are at the crib. We are there. We are at home. They the ones that really ain't got no home. That's why they always try to Name all these places when they step down on them. You know, that's why they be doing all of that. On your purpose, peace, what's happening? Oh, you say, what haven't they stole from us? That's the question. I'm going to tell you what they haven't stole from us. I'm going to tell you, people ain't going to like it. But I'll tell you what they haven't stole from us, though. That the embracing of the homosexual culture. that you know, they didn't steal that from us. Let me say the normalizing of that type of lifestyle. They didn't steal that from us. We never normalized that lifestyle ever. Like our ancestors never normalized that, and that's just a fact. You know, I got some books on that. We never normalized that type of behavior. So them normalizing that type of behavior, keyword, notice I'm saying normalizing it. You know what I'm saying? Them normalizing that type of behavior, they ain't get that from us. They ain't get that from us at all. Tony, then that's why I say the military part, we got to have the military. Got to have the military to protect our investment. You know, like they did Move. They came and bombed the neighborhood. You know, we know the Rosewood, we know Move, we know all that. Black Wall Street, we know that. You know, we'd have had a lot of other low-key towns. This one I always bring this book out when I talk about economics. And Claude Anderson, you know, we always mention Powernomics and what is it? White Wealth, Black Labor, that book. But this right here is the holy grail of books. The Blueprint for Black Power by Amos N. Wilson. R.I.P. to the great ancestor Amos Wilson. But this book right here, man, he mentioned a lot of some other low-key towns that we had that was flourishing that I hadn't heard about. You know, but this book is about 800 pages, and it literally gives the blueprint. You know, he talks about revolving credit. He talks about us not relying on banks to get loans, to buy up property, to get homes, to all that type of good stuff, man. Stuff that we could be doing. Like we shouldn't have to be relying on their banks or them or their institutions to be funding our dreams and things like that. We could literally be doing this amongst ourselves. We actually think we need this system in order to buy homes, in order to buy property. Like we really don't. We can do all of this amongst ourselves, man. We just got to realize that. We just got to realize that. That's the crazy part. We can literally do all of this by ourselves. When they talked about the revolving credit system in this book and was mentioning foreigners, you know, how Africans come here and what they practice and how you could just get 10 of y'all together and y'all put a certain amount of money in a pot every month. And then after a few months, few years, then y'all rotate the pot, you know, and once the pot comes to you, you can use that money to do whatever it is you need to do. You could buy a home with that money. You could buy some property with that money. You can buy your kid a car with that money, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that pot is rotated. It's rotated. Boom. So y'all putting $250 in this pot every month. You know, after a year, man, we could just do the math, man. We could just do the math. We can make financial sacrifice right now. We all putting 500. If it's 10 of us came together and we said we gonna put $500 in the pot a month. $500. We gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. That's $5,000 a month in a pot. That's $60,000 a year in a pot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is. That's what that is. We can all make that sacrifice. We can all make that sacrifice, man. We can find that's 10 people. There's 10 people. And we can do that. 10 people. You know how much property and land we can end up buying, you know what I'm saying? When you keep rotating like that, you keep rotating a pot of this magnitude. Come on now. We could literally create our own banking system with just 10 of us. Literally. Yeah, Kai's yep. Powernomics and White Wealth, Black Labor. I might have said it backwards, but yeah. Just fresh. What's happening? Evan, peace. What's happening? Everybody's tapping in. Peace. Blaze, peace, what's happening? On your purpose, you say this is random, but I'll never understand why a family look at you different when you are pro-black. No, that ain't random. That's right on the money. The reason, I'm going to give you the simple reason why a family looks at you different when you are pro-black is because they hate themselves. So they are anti-black. They are against themselves. They hate themselves. So that's one of the reasons why family will look at you differently, sideways, or negatively when you are speaking in a pro-black light. They hate themselves. Point blank. They hate themselves. Because if they love themselves, they would love what you're talking about. They would love that. You know what I'm saying? Like they would love it. So they hate themselves. They have some insecurities within themselves. They have a displeasure with themselves. So they don't like what they see in the mirror. So when you come in with that pro-black talk, then they like, nah, hold up, because they not satisfied with what they see in the mirror. So they don't like that. And they don't like the fact that you satisfied with what you see in the mirror. They can't understand why you don't dislike what you see in the mirror. Javon, you say, what do you think about the Black Panthers? Oh, yeah. Huey Newton was one of my favorite people to study back in the day. Revolutionary Suicide, one of my favorite books to this date. The Black Panther Party, man, I rock with them 100%, especially when they was policing the police. I do feel like my brothers got a little too caught up. But I understand why they was doing it. But I feel like they did get a little too caught up in studying like Karl Marx and all of them guys, like these white folk. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like they got a little too caught up in that, but I understand why they was studying that, because you got to study the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And they did have their flaws. You know, for the most part, I did hear a lot about some of the dudes within the Black Panther Party, man, and just the mistreatment of some of the sisters that was in the party. We can't be having that. We can't have the wickedness, man. So when we start forming these groups, man, we got to eliminate the wickedness. We got to eliminate the nonsense, and we got to call folks out on it. We can't be afraid to criticize somebody because of a status, because of a name. If you out here acting foul, we got to be able to call you out on it. You know, so I feel like a lot of times with some of these groups, the ego starts to take over. And some of these dudes feel like they invincible. You know, they can do whatever they want to do with no repercussions and consequences. You had a lot of that. So I feel like that'd be a major flaw when you start having some of these organizations. Yeah, Just Fresh, they definitely had a lot of agents inserted, for sure. But the ones that was genuine with it, those are the ones that I tended to study a lot. You know, and a lot of folks might not necessarily have started off as agents, but they became agents, you know, during their tenure with the party or with the organization. So we got to tap into things like that, man. We got to tap into all of that. We got to stop being so quick to sell ourselves out and sell our people out. You know, everybody be asking me questions about, you know, just random questions. Would you do this for $1 million? Would you do this for $1 billion? Like, not. The answer is no, because I'm like, man, it's like, listen, it's certain things that I just won't do for some money. I don't care what the offer is. I don't care what the offer is, man. We got to have some morals. We got to have some integrity. We got to have all of that. You know, the moment you willing to sell yourself out and do anything for a piece of change, they got you. You know, and that's why they keep us in a certain position economically, because they know if they continue to keep us in a certain position, they can always pay somebody off when an organization is formed. If we keep this group if we make it hard or make it harder for this group of people to reach a certain type of level financially, then every time they start an organization, all we got to do is throw the right price at the right person and we got it. So that's why they do that. That's why they do that, Mark. What's happening? That's why they do. That's why they work so hard to keep us at the bottom economically, not even to keep us beneath them economically. Tony, exactly, man. Listen. Hey, I understand what I need money for, and I'm not gonna act like money is not important, but I don't worship it. Now, I don't worship money at all. I like at these jobs. I'm like, man, I'm not about to bust my behind for these white folks to make this money and not be able to enjoy life, not be able to take care of my health. Like, I'm good, man. I'm not finna do that. I'm not about to, nope. Because the moment I drop down with an injury or something, them white folks do not care about you, man. These white folks don't care about you, fam. So I'm not about to work that hard for them their corporations. I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that the first time they played me. The first time they made some type of promise to me and didn't fulfill that promise, even though I already knew that. I knew they was gonna do that. But man, I say, nah, you ain't about to catch me slaving for them. You're not about to catch. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. When I work, I'm going to work hard for something that is mine. Like, I'm going to go above and beyond for something that I own, for something that I created. For them, they gonna get this bare minimum, and they gonna write all these business books, and they gonna give you advice of, well, if you want to get promoted or if you want to reach a certain level within your job, then you got to go above and beyond. You know, you got to do the things your other workers not willing to do. Forget all that. I done seen too many black folks, and I done been that then did that, and we done got overlooked. So nah. And that's why a lot of times I don't like reading a lot of these business books from white folks, because they don't have the same rules. The same rules don't apply to them. So they can go above and beyond and kiss up to the boss and the manager, and they might get the promotion. We go do that. It might not work for us. It may or may not work. You know, so I always find it funny when I read these business books or these books on, you know, how to move up at a job written by white folks. And I'm like, man, y'all just don't understand that the game is different for y'all. If you take person A, who is black, a black man, and you take person B, who is a white man, and they work at the same job and they had the same position and they act the same exact way, they do the same exact thing, they go above and beyond the same exact way, who is going to get promoted first? It is going to be person B, who is the white guy. It's just going to happen like that. It's going to happen like that. And that's just a fact. That matter of fact, that black dude can outwork the white dude. Numbers can be better. Like, let's say they in sales. The black man could be outselling this white man by, I'm talking about 100-fold. And he still might not get that promotion. And they gonna make us some garbage excuse. Oh, well, Brad's been with the company longer. You know what I'm saying? Brad has been with the company longer. Although you outperforming Brad, he been with the company 2 months longer than you, and that qualifies him to get this promotion before it qualifies you. Like, that's the type of stuff that they do. That's the type of stuff that they do. That's the type of time they be on. Crippin' 2 times, my brother. What's happening? Peace. Mark, yeah, for sure. I mentioned Claude Anderson books earlier, but I personally feel like you should also get all of Amos N. Wilson's books as well. You know, I feel like Amos N. Wilson went right under the radar, and for good reason. When you tap into Amos N. Wilson and every book that he has written, and even try to find some of his interviews, you will see why the world at large doesn't know about it. TR, peace, what's happening? You will see why Amos N. Wilson came and went. And he died mysteriously, fam. They got rid of Amos N. Wilson rather quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like the world don't know about it. World don't know about Amos N. Wilson, man. Amos N. Wilson was a very intelligent brother. Very intelligent brother. Just study him, and the way that he died, man, is weird. It's still that mystery behind it. So y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go. Mugs out here teaching, and then they just die mysteriously. I mean, Amos N. Wilson died mysteriously. So y'all already know what's up with that, fam. Y'all already know. So that's why I always try to keep his name alive. But Claude Anderson is definitely one of them. All ladies for sure, man. American, yes. 100%. You know, and that's how they get us, man. So economically, they keep us in a certain position so they can always pay us off. Like they can always pay us off to infiltrate, be a spy, be an agent. That's how they get us, fam. So we gotta get better at recognizing these individuals too. We gotta get better at recognizing an agent. And like I said, for the most part, if you the head of an organization, for the most part, that agent is going to be one of the people that's working right underneath you, that's working with you the most. That's going to be the one. They got to get the person that's up close and personal with the person they trying to take down. They can't just get somebody who ain't got access to this person. So more than likely, they going to get somebody that has full access to the person at the top that they trying to take down, or the person that they trying to take down the most. So if we have an organization and they got somebody in this organization that they need to take down, the person that's going to end up being responsible for that person going down is going to be the person, the right-hand man, or the person that's right underneath it. That's the only way that they're going to be able to get to that person. The only way. So those are the first people that you got to start tapping into, paying attention to. If you the head of that organization, you got to pay attention to the people that's around you the most. See if they start acting funny. You pay attention to people close enough, they're going to reveal some things. They're going to change up on you. It might be small though. So you got to really be able to, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. You got to have them type of skills, man, to where you can detect when somebody starts to act a little different. It might be something small that they start doing, man, but if you tapped in, you paying attention, you're going to catch it. You got to be able to pay attention to detail. And that's a fact. That's a fact, What y'all say? Y'all both, yeah, y'all both mentioned Obama's chef at the same time. Y'all both mentioned Obama's chef at the same time. You say, what is your take on Obama's personal chef who had drowned in his pool? To get on some Illuminati type of time, because I used to study that way back in the day. Anytime some random stuff like that starts happening, I start thinking of like some sacrifices or some stuff like that. I start getting into that mode. When you got somebody like Obama's personal chef drowned in a pool, like I start thinking stuff like that. I start tapping into that type of time, man, because what? You know what I'm saying? Drowned in his pool. When random people start, like, it don't be random, man. It be some connections there. So I gotta start tapping into folks that, I gotta tap into Obama and them and see what happens to them going forward. If they start randomly getting back out here doing some major things, then that's what that was. So yeah, I start talking about sacrifices. If you don't like it, then hey, this ain't the place for you, man. Sacrificing is as old as we are. They've been sacrificing for a very long time, and it hasn't stopped. You know what I'm saying? So hey, if you think sacrificing is far-fetched, if you think sacrificing is something that is not going on, then you are not privy and hip to the history of humanity. Because this is something that is as old as anything. Sacrificing is older than every religion that people out here fooling with and subscribing to, man. Sacrificing is old. They've been doing that. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I can tell you sacrificing is not something that is not happening or never happened. Like, they've been doing that. Been happening. So don't ever allow somebody to tell you, oh, they don't sacrifice. They don't be doing that. Trust me, it is happening. It is happening. This ain't nothing that we ain't even got to debate this. We can go pull up ancient cultures mentioning sacrifice, practicing sacrifice. You can still go watch YouTube videos right now, some of your ancient cultures. People that still tapped in and they still they still do this. You know what I'm saying? They still do this to this day. So, sacrificing be happening. And these people that be in certain secret groups and societies, Sacrificing is a big part of what they do. And Obama was definitely down with these secret groups. So Obama may be a cool person, but he took the oath. So you took the oath, he out here doing what the oath takers doing. If he doesn't do what the oath takers are doing, then it's off with his head. It's still gonna be off with his head when he served the purpose, when he's finished serving his purpose. But Obama, he took the oath, fam. Obama took that oath. He took it. We got a lot of black folks that took that oath. Obama, Oprah, all them, man. They took that oath. They took it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all hip. That's why that's why way back when, man, I had to tap out from a lot, man. I couldn't even like if I knew you was part of that mix, man, I couldn't listen to the music. I couldn't watch no speech from. I couldn't fool with it. I couldn't fool with anything that was connected to all of that. I'm like, man, I don't fool with none of this, man. Y'all taking these oaths from these white folks, man. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for it. When I was studying them secret societies heavy, I started realizing all the corruption and wickedness, man, that was really going on. When I was studying the Illuminati and the secret society, Skull and Bones, all that type of stuff, man, and I came across a lot of these secret groups that be meeting in private, discussing things, the Bilderbergs, the Council on Foreign Relations, all these little groups, man, that I would start coming across, and just the wickedness. And then, like I was talking about in the last stream, I'll watch the movies, and exactly what I just read about in this book is what's going on in the movie. Like they having these parties where they got on masks and they using like their first name, or they using like a code name to get into the party. It's just stuff like that crazy. And it be happening in real life. Real life, fam. They be having these parties in real life where they masked up, concealing their identity, using code names to get inside the party. And it's orgies and all type of stuff going on. Sex trafficking, all this stuff really be going on, fam. Like it really be happening like that. And I was tapping into them creating the AIDS virus using a monkey. Crazy, man. Just crazy. Using a monkey. What we know is HIV, which turns into AIDS, has a cousin called SIV, which they extracted that from the monkey, the blood of the monkey. The blood of the monkey, fam. They took the blood of the monkey that got the cousin SIV, and they, boom, injected that into who? The people in Africa. So then when you look at Africa, you see all these AIDS cases, and you start thinking, man, these Africans filthy. What they out here doing? Man, they experiment on our people in Africa. So when you start seeing all these high cases of AIDS and HIV in Africa, man, they done took the monkey and they done, boom, took the blood from this monkey. They injected this joint. It's a Tuskegee experiment, all that type of stuff all over. So when you start seeing all these cases of these diseases where it's predominantly black folks, that's what then happened. I watched a whole documentary on that where they admitted that. You study Hillary Kaprowski and all of these folks. I'm trying to tell you, it's hard to find this information now, though, because they done removed a lot of this type of stuff. They done removed it, but this whole documentaries was out about HIV and all of that. And I mean, whole documentaries, fam. Whole documentaries. But you can't find them now. This documentary I'm talking about don't exist on YouTube any longer. But that mug was filled with facts. Filled with facts. That's why I be trying to get people hip, man. They create these diseases, man. They get into labs and they manufacture these diseases, fam. This just ain't, man, we dying of diseases that was unheard of where we came from. I mean, literally, we are dying of diseases that our ancestors never dealt with. Never dealt with. How all of a sudden we dying of diseases that our ancestors never dealt with? Like, come on, fam. Come on. We dying of diseases that we didn't start dealing with until we came in contact with them pale face folk. And that's just what that is. That's just what it is. They done took us out of our original situation. got us eating like them, got us get. Listen, I was talking to a person, man, and they had said like what I do as trainer. They was like, I was training with a white person, but she was like, man, I can't really go to no white trainer because I don't feel like a white trainer knows how to train a black person right because they don't understand our body. I say right and exact. I say we need to go. You got to go to black, any, and everything if you want to get proper treatment. You got to go to somebody that really understands your body, really understands your mind. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to anything, man, a black trainer, black doctors, black anything, black therapists, black psychiatrists, whatever the case may be. You got to go to somebody who can really relate to you, that really knows and understands that body. Not saying that you can't have a good white therapist that can help you or a white trainer that can help you. But at the end of the day, when you got a person who looks like you that then mastered the melanated body, it don't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that, fam. Like when you find a black trainer that really understands the black body, they just gonna have you doing different things than that white person. That white person gonna be looking at things in a sense of what's right for the white body. They gonna be going by the BMI. The BMI is for white folks. It's not for us. So you might have a white trainer that may mean no harm. They may be telling you, hey, your BMI is too high. You need to decrease that. Well, the BMI is a little too high because we naturally carry more mass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they may not understand that. Black trainer that's tapped in, we gonna understand that. We not allowing these white institutions and white science out here to brainwash us. You know, so we gonna tell you the truth. So you got to get tapped in with somebody that's black, that's tapped in. You know, and they gonna take you to that next level. And I felt when that person said that, I felt that, man, because it's just certain things that, hey, call me what you want to call me, but it's just when it comes to certain things, I can't get that type of service from white folk. When it comes to certain things, it don't work for me. I don't connect with them. I can't relate to them. I need somebody that looks like me, that really understands the black body and mind. It's hard for me to sit there like a therapist. I refuse to go to a white therapist. Not saying that a white therapist can't help a black person, but a white therapist will not be able to help me. I need to talk to somebody who looks like me, that's in that field, that's mastering that field. I couldn't go to a white therapist. I just couldn't do it. And that's just me personally. I'm not telling you to be that way. I just know myself. You know, I got knowledge of myself, and I know when it comes to therapy, if I get a therapist, got to be black. Got to be black. I got to talk to somebody that's black, fam. I cannot sit there and spill my heart out to somebody that's white. As far as therapy is concerned, you might say, oh, that's racist. No, it's not. It's prejudice, first of all, you know, but you could call it whatever you want to call it. It really don't bother me none. Everybody has a preference. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. When it comes to everything, you're going to vet out people. You're going to pick the person who you prefer. So everybody has a certain criteria when it comes to them picking and choosing, whether it be a trainer, a therapist, a doctor. Everybody has a criteria that they need for that person to meet. You know, so I'm the same way. I got a criteria. If I'm about to be spilling my heart out for you, part of my criteria is you need to be well qualified and you need to look like me. It's part of my criteria. You may have a different criteria. You know, so I never feel any type of way when somebody criticizes me for having a criteria and that be part of it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I need for that person to be black. If I'm about to spend my hard-earned money to release all of this, nah, it's gotta be somebody who looks like me. 100%. That's just what it is. Call it what you want to call it. Ruben, peace, what's happening? God is for sure. That's it. I just don't, you know, at the end of the day, you can call it PTSD. You know, you can call it whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, I'm just not going to trust them. Not saying I'm going to trust. And a lot of people hear that. Well, I ain't going to, there's some black people you can't trust. Duh. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to hire the first black person that tells me they're a qualified therapist. No, I prefer to deal with my people first. So I'm going to gather a nice collection of black therapists, and I'm going to make my decision based off who's the best fit in that pool for me. I ain't gonna never say, oh, just because you black, I'm instantly gonna fool with you. No. But I'm going to gather up the best qualified candidates amongst black people first. That's how I'm gonna do that. Like that's how that's supposed to go. You know, and if I can't find what I need to find there, then I might seek outside of that. You know what I mean? That's how that goes. MC, peace, what's happening? Ruben, exactly. Exactly. And it's real simple. And again, that's part of this economics that I'm talking about. The group economics. I'm going to try to spend my money with my people first. Hey, I'm in the business of having a business that has a service. So I would like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to operate how I would like for people to operate in regards to my business. If you looking for a personal trainer, I would hope that you seeking out a black one first. And I would hope that I'm in the mix. Just like if I'm seeking out a service, I'm going to seek out the black ones first. And if you rock with me and we not a good fit and you go elsewhere, cool. But I'm at least striving to do the thing or do the service with my people first. Flat out. So I'm going to find all the black trainers I can find in my area. I'm reading reviews. I'm going to meet up with them, talk to them, chop it up, see who the one I rock with the most, and we going to go from there. I'm going to exhaust my people first, man. That's how that's supposed to go. Real simple, man. This is real simple economics. Real simple. You know, you looking for some clothes, find you a black brand first. Find you a good quality black brand first. You need a new shirt. All right, let me go see somebody. Let me go see if I can find somebody that's black that's selling some shirts that got good quality brand before I go give my money to somebody else. Real simple, man. Real simple. Because we out here doing a lot, man. Black people out here with a lot of businesses, a lot of services, a lot of products. All we got to do collectively is support the products and the services. It's real simple. We got to do it. That's all we got to do, man. It could really be that simple. We make it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. You know, than it needs to be. And then we, like I've always talked about, we'll be quick to bash. You know what I'm saying? We'll be quick to bash our folks. You know, man, you trying to charge me this much money for this shirt? Whoop-de-whoop. Like, look, if you don't want to pay the money for the shirt, cool, but don't blast the brother or sister. You know why they charging that much for the shirt, so don't blast them, because now you messing up future business. Darlene, peace, what's happening? Yeah, on your purpose. Hey, Damon John, shout out to the FUBU. Yeah. TZ, what's happening? But I don't like when we do that, when we be so quick to put each other on blast. It's like let's not do that. And a matter of fact, I made an interesting status on Facebook the other day that, of course, a lot of people misunderstood. I said something along the lines of, matter of fact, let me go read it verbatim. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you more than likely saw the status, but I'm going to read it verbatim. This is the status that I made a day ago. I said, y'all out here loving Tubi movies, but won't support your homeboy or homegirl's brand because you don't like the quality. Man, y'all better support them like y'all supporting them Tubi movies so they can improve the quality. That was the status that I made. I already knew the arguments that were going to come with that. Tubi movies are free. I already knew somebody was going to say that. That had nothing to do with what I said, fam. It had nothing to do with what I said. When people start bringing up Tubi movies are free, and black people out here trying to charge $70 for a shirt of bad quality, like, no. First of all, time is money. So Tubi movie, while you may think it's free, while you don't have to pay for the app, when you spend an hour watching something that's of bad quality, You could have spent that hour doing something that was actually adding on to your financial well-being. So time is money. So I don't look at, if I got to spend time to do something, then it really is not free. It's not free at all. But my thing was quality. Ladies, man, my condolences. But my thing wasn't even the fact that it was free. It was support. It was quality. If you out here praising Tubi movies, and first of all, Tubi is not owned by a black person. Yeah, they have black people in the movies, which is funny because that's the free app. So look how we got to do it. First of all, we got an app that shows a bunch of black movies that's not of the best quality, and it's free, letting us know how much value we really have. But it's not a black person that owns that. Let's get that straight. Not a black person. A black person does not own Tubi, although they do have a bunch of these black movies that are not of the best quality. But my argument there was, how you gonna get on here and talk about the Tubi movies, how you love them, when obviously these are not the best quality movies, but then you turn around and you bash your partner's brand or clothing because of bad quality? That doesn't make any sense to me. In one breath, you praising something that doesn't have the best quality, and then the next breath, you bashing something that don't have the best quality. It really doesn't make much sense to me. That was my whole argument. I don't care about something being free. And I said in the status, homeboy or homegirl, not an average Joe that you don't know. So if it's somebody that you rock with, I don't see the problem. Fam, the more people that we support, like the more you support this person, the more they'll be able to improve the quality. It's really simple, man. Really simple. Somebody not going to come out the gate with ridiculous quality unless they inherited some money. Like, you're going to start off struggling for the most part. Hey, Darlene, for sure. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was doing. Like, that's what I was doing. But like, the thing of it is, where I'm at with it now, all this money that black folks be wasting, spending to these white corporations, man, listen, when we have all these business, we should be doing way better collectively, because I seen it. I working in the bank, I seen us waste money firsthand. I seen all the money that we make. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it. And I've seen all the money that we waste. You know, so we should be in a much better position. You know, we should be in a much better position collectively. You know, it's a shame, man, that when black folks come out with some great quality products, man, black people look right over it. Just a shame sometimes. Jazz and Peace, what's happening? Like, it's a shame when I be seeing that. It's a shame. Mark, hey, I'm trying to tell you, you would think it's common sense. You know what I'm saying? You would think. Like, you would think it'd be common sense, man, but people just don't. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We not doing it. We act like we don't understand why this person has to charge this much for a shirt that you literally only have to buy one time. You only got to buy the shirt one time. And if you don't want to buy a shirt, that's also cool. Just don't bash people. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking. I don't understand the purpose of, I'm going to bash a person with a clothing brand and I didn't buy anything from them. So I didn't buy a shirt from you, and you sell shirts. That's your business. I didn't buy a shirt from you, but I'm online bashing you. That doesn't make any sense. I don't even have a shirt. So how am I bashing your shirts online and I never bought one? That's weird. Like, if I don't have the funds to buy the shirt, then that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not about to get online bashing you. And I don't know why a dude trying to charge $50 for a shirt. The quality is bad. How do I know the quality is bad or trash if I don't have a shirt? You know, and you will see people do that. Don't have the product, never bought the product, never even bought the service, but yet bashing the person based on like price alone. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Anybody that's doing that, that's foul, that's low down, and that's dirty. You bashing the person's brand and you haven't supported the brand. It's one thing if you supported the person and received bad customer service, bad quality products after they promised you good customer and good quality products, and you receive the opposite. That's one thing. But if you're not supporting them, then what are you talking about? Mark, exactly. We got to work extra hard, fam. We got to work 1,000 times harder for average return. You know, and then we got to compete with these machines. You know, they got so much money, they just paying for a lot of marketing out here. So you got to compete with that. You know, I don't have as much money as a commercial gym, you know, so they could spend way more money on ads. So like they can be seen and heard way more than I can be seen and heard because they can afford it. You know, at the end of the day, it's a thing with money when it comes to advertising online. Whoever got the most money can afford to place themselves, you know what I'm saying, in the most spaces. And that's what be happening. So you got these billion dollar industries, man, you can't compete with that from a marketing standpoint. So you got to find another way to market. You know, you ain't going to be able to outdo $1 million company or corporation when you in the thousands. Man, they could pay. They can spend what you make annually in a month for marketing. So now you got to come up with some different ways. You got to come up with some creative ways, what they call guerrilla marketing. You got to use guerrilla marketing tactics, marketing strategies that don't cost anything to build your business. Whole while they could just drop 100,000 in a month and get all the customers that they need, do all the brainwashing that they need. They ain't got to do much convincing. All they got to do is spend 100,000, spend some money, and it's done. We don't have, when you a small business, you don't have that luxury. You got to get it from the mud. You got to get it straight out the mud. You got to put flyers on people's cars and stuff like that. You know, you got to talk to people in the physical. You got to go out, stand in the parking lot, hand out your business card, hand out your flyer. You got to go to, you know what I'm saying? You got to set up, you got to become vendors and have your products all in these different places. You got to do things like that. Whole while they can just spend money. All right, we need people to purchase our products. Let's spend 100,000. Let's spend 100,000 on. Let's create a budget, 250,000 for marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. Our budget is 250,000 in marketing. We finna spend this whole 250,000, and we about to get a bunch of new customers. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they gonna do. Darlene, what you say? I've been trying to get customers on Instagram with organic traffic, but it's hard. Oh, 100%. I built my gym, like I got my foundation set from Facebook ads. I just did a Google ad. You know, I just did a Google ad. That was my first Google ad. They was trying to mess with me back in the day, so I wasn't able to do one. You know, word of mouth is still a prominent way that I generate a lot of customers, man. But when it comes to certain products and things like that, I know how to do a little bit of the ads and copywriting and things like that. You know, so I done had some success on Facebook. Man, if I had a $250,000 marketing budget, I'd be out here going crazy because I know exactly how to do a lot of these ads. It's what I went to school for, you know, and I took it seriously when I went to school for it. You know, so I didn't have success with $100 budget, spending $100. You know, I didn't have success with that. So I could imagine if I was like some of these corporations. So I tell people, I say, man, listen, the more y'all support me, the more dangerous I'm gonna become because I know how to do this marketing thing. You know, so I'm already knowing, I'm already well versed in the marketing world. I know how to do all the ads. I know how to do all that. Any form of marketing I am familiar with and know how to do. And I've had a ton of success doing it at a low level. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if I ever reach, when I reach the level of these corporations, it's a problem. Because I'm about to do exactly what they do. $250,000 marketing budget. About to see my face everywhere. About to see my product everywhere. So you see my product everywhere. You're going to see it. I literally had clients. I had clients view me like I was a miracle. I had, I done had plenty of clients. I had a few clients. A lot of clients came to me. They was like, man, they say things like, man, I was praying for a good trainer. I was praying for a new trainer. Woo-de-woo. I was putting all this good energy in the atmosphere for a new trainer. And I somehow came across your page. I don't even know how I came across it. I'm like, man, I did that on purpose. I know how to marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, people like, man, I don't know how you came across my page at the right time. I don't know. I don't even know where you came from. Fam, because I created an ad specifically for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ad was made so you can see it, because I know who my target market is. I know who the target market is. So I'm like, man, you think I came out of nowhere, but this was strategically designed. So you think your prayers was answered. The whole while, I strategically placed this ad here. Like, I know how to do that. Darlene, man, I'm trying to tell you that that's something that I am pondering. And you know me, I'm the type won't even do a second channel. I do it straight from this channel. But that's something that I'm pondering, because if I didn't have this gym, my second business plan was that having a marketing company. That was going to be I was about to do something. I was going to either do the gym or have a marketing firm, like a marketing consulting firm, something like that. That was going to be my other plan. If I was not doing what I'm doing now as far as the gym, I was about to do that, because when I was working in the bank, I had a lot of small business owners that was like, they was older, so they didn't know how to work social media and the marketing and things like that, and they wanted me to help them out. Yeah, my copywriting. I got a lot of books behind me on copywriting. I have a lot of marketing books behind me, because I obviously it was the degree field, but I got a lot of books on search engine optimization. I got a lot of books on Google ads, Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing, all of that, guerrilla marketing, marketing in general. Shout out to Nipsey. He gave me one of my favorite marketing books. Like, he recommended it, Contagious. It's a great book. You know what I'm saying? And that would fall in the line of like guerrilla marketing. That's where to get good ideas from. But that's something that we gotta, a lot of times, black folks, we are good at a thing, like we have a great skill or a great product, but we suck at the like we suck at that part. We suck at the marketing. We suck at the boring stuff. We just be wanting to create the product, or we just want to showcase the skill. Like you want to cook, or you want to create whatever the product is, or you just want to train. But when it comes to like the marketing, the advertising, the PR, that's where a lot of us slip up. So you might have a person that has an above average product, but it ain't moving how it should because they not really good at marketing. And you can have somebody with a mediocre product or below average product, but they great at marketing, so it look like the product is phenomenal. And it's all in the marketing. So hey, Terenzo, peace, what's happening? So marketing is a big time key when it comes to the growth of black businesses in general. We got to understand marketing. And I read that in a business book way back when. It was like, look, if you getting into business, you must understand marketing. Like there's no way your business will succeed if you do not study marketing. Like, you got to know the basics of marketing. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a small, but even if you work for somebody else, like even if you're doing that, even if you work for somebody else, marketing is still essential, because you always marketing yourself. You always marketing yourself. Mark, you say, have I heard of Dan Kennedy? Yeah, believe I got a few of his books behind me. Yeah, I believe I have a few of his books. But yeah, marketing is essential for anybody that's a small business owner, for anybody that's considering becoming a small business owner or an entrepreneur. But like I said, just in general, marketing is crucial. You know what I'm saying? Because you marketing yourself anywhere and everywhere that you go. You know, so you got to know and understand the science behind marketing. And it's a rather, like, it ain't that simple. It ain't as simple as some of us think. You know, and a lot of times we think just because we got a good product that the product should sell itself. No, it's not how it works. If that were the case, we would have generated a lot more wealth, because like I said, it's a lot of people with phenomenal products out here. It's just the marketing is not good enough. You got to get your product in the hands of people in order for that joint to move how you need it to move. Oh yeah, Mark, public speaking for sure. I took a few public speaking classes and whatnot back in the day. Definitely a crucial skill. As much as I don't like speaking, as much as I don't like crowds, you gotta master that. You gotta master that. You know, gotta master that. And that ain't even pertaining to have your own business, being an entrepreneur. You gotta master the art of communication in general. You know, outside just public speaking. Public speaking deals with communication. So we got to learn the art and science of proper communication. That'll help us in life, just point blank. You know, so learn how to speak. Learn how to get your point across. You know, they say, hey, if you talking about something longer than 2-3 minutes, then, man, you don't really know what you're talking about. So learn how, if somebody asks you about a product, if somebody asks you about something that you're selling, learn how to explain that in about 2 minutes. Get straight to the point. That's why a lot of times people then told me, man, that was straight to the point, because I had to master that, man. When you giving a speech and you got 5 minutes to make a speech, like that's different. You know, when somebody tell you, man, you need to give a speech on this pen and you got 5 minutes, you know how hard it is to cut a speech down. Like, you know how hard it is to have a speech and conduct that speech under a certain amount of time. It's complicated. You know, more than likely you're going to be over. So you're going to have to start chopping that speech down. You're going to have to eliminate all the fluff. It's like when you're writing a paper. You know, you got that rough draft, and when you got somebody that's a thorough editor, they're going to be telling you to cut off eliminate the fluff. You got a bunch of unnecessary words and sentences in this joint. Eliminate all that. Colleen, peace, what's happening? So you got to learn how to get straight to the point. I don't have to go over your head all the time. Get straight to the point. You got to understand who we're talking to. Now, if I'm talking to a person that going straight over their head, like they understand that language, then I'm going to speak that language. But if my target market like need it simple and plain, that's how I'm going to give it to them. So you got to understand who your market is, who you speaking to. I tell people that all the time, fam. Like, you can't talk to everybody like everybody on the same type of time. You can't talk to everybody the same. Can't do that. It might be a certain language that you can use with me, certain words that you can use with me that you can't use with the next person. Or if you do use them, you're gonna have to spend too much time explaining what it is that you mean, because they don't understand the verbiage and the language. So when you know you talking to somebody that's not gonna understand certain words, then you got to use other words that they will understand and still convey the point and the message. I do that all the time. You got to adapt and adjust. If I don't have time to be breaking down the definition of every word that I use that you may not understand, then I'm going to speak in the language to where you understand. Because I'm trying to get this point. I got about 3 to 5 minutes to get this point across to you. So I'm not about to be using words that I know you might not get. And that's easy to tell, because the first time you use a word like that, they either going to be like, man, what that word mean? Or they're going to look at you crazy. Like, what are you talking about? So you got to learn how to speak in layman's terms, man. You got to learn how to keep it simple, stupid when you're talking to certain people. Like, straight up. Certain people don't want to be thinking that hard when they hear you explain something. And that's just a fact. Some people don't want it. They don't want to have to be thinking of definitions to words when they hear you explain this product. They shouldn't have to do that. You know, whatever your product is, whatever your service is, they shouldn't have to be getting out the dictionary for your explanation, because I know it don't take that. Whatever product service you have, it don't take all that. You can explain this using everyday words that people use every day. You can explain every product and service, so I don't have to go over your head. That can come later down the line. But when you ask me about my product and service, I don't have to go over your head in that moment. Like, seriously. And I've seen a lot of people make those mistakes. Even when they creating a website or something, they make the website too flashy. They make the website how they would like the website. That's a mistake in business. You got to understand, in business, it ain't about you. First of all, people don't really care about you. They care about what you can do for them. So you can't make the website how you would like the website. You got to consider the people. And they tell you all the time, they say, man, don't be on here making no flashy website. People don't care about that. They got a problem that needs to be solved. So they want to make sure your website can solve this problem. Keep the website basic and simple. If you selling some oils on your website, I don't want to have to be working too hard to make this purchase. If I got to be going through too much to make this purchase for these oils, then I'm going to remove myself from this website. You know, so you got to always keep it simple. Remember that. You might like the flashy and the flamboyant stuff, but that don't mean your clients will. That don't mean your customers like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. Understand who you dealing with. Now, if that's your target market, then cool. If you targeting the people that's like yourself, then okay. But most of the time, we not doing that. Most of the time, you not targeting people who think like you. You know, and if you are, then hey, that's a plus. You know, but you got to understand that, fam. Keep it simple. You want something that's extra flashy. Now I'm on your website confused because it's too much going on. Like, I'm not even confused. I'm distracted. As soon as I got on your website, a video popped up. Like, I'm on this website to purchase this oil. Why is a video popping up? Man, I just want to get the oil. Fam, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much going on. The video ain't got nothing to do with the oil. You know, it's too much going on. Too many distracting colors. Like, it's just distracting. I'm telling you, that will deter somebody from making a purchase on your website. I literally, this was about some years ago, I had a dude I went to school with. I forgot what I think it might have been my books or something. I was selling something on the website, and he praised how easy it was to make a purchase. He was like, man, it didn't take much for me to make this purchase. He's like, man, I really like that. I don't like being on the website and it take too long for me to make a purchase. He was like, man, it didn't take nothing for me to get on this website, put this in the cart and purchase it. Speed. You know what I'm saying? He praised the speed. Like, straight up. Tony, for sure. You got to know. And if you are going into business for yourself, or if you are becoming an entrepreneur, then you should know that. Because the first thing you should do is determine who your target audience is. So you should already know what frequency they on, because you have created your target audience, your ideal customer. You have already created them before you start the business or you start the endeavor. You know what I'm saying? So you should already have your ideal customer created. A lot of times we make that mistake, man. You shouldn't start anything without having this ideal customer already created in your mind. We out here getting emails, so now I got to be handling business, man. They be sending me emails that don't even be making sense. Look at that, man. People be messing with you on the business tip, but it's all good. We're gonna figure that out though. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out for sure. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I done went over the time a little bit. I gotta handle this business and I gotta get back on up to this gym to finish off my evening. I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid, man. It's a good build as always. hey, hopefully y'all get some business tips from this particular stream. You know, I should go live and talk about business a lot more because that's something I'm very well versed in. I might do that, you know, who knows. But hey, I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Tuesday. I appreciate y'all as always. Y'all be easy out here. Peace.